totally expected to something strange. It's time to go to a place where improv dreams come true. And all we need is you. It's the world's nerdiest improv show. WNIS Weenus, don't you know? Get your internet connected and your screen aglow, and we'll make it up as we go. The world's nerdiest improv show.
Welcome, everyone, to the world's nerdiest improv show, parentheses, WNIS, parentheses, Weenus.
And we're your hosts. I'm Katrina Charles.
And there's Katrina, and I'm Jen DeHaan.
And today we don't have a guest.
We don't have a guest today, but we do have improv things to talk about today, don't we?
We do.
Yeah.
So much improv.
So much improv.
You won't believe how much improv we talk about.
You won't. It's
You won't
triple
believe.
improv!
Improv.
Improv. We've got improv ads. We've got improv to talk about.
We have improv adjacent things.
Improv
adjacent things you wouldn't even think were improv adjacent, but they are. You know why?
Why?
Because everything's improv adjacent.
I guess everything is improv adjacent. Because improv is life, and life is improvised.
Equal life.
We mind melded on that, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah.
Improv adjacent.
Improv adjacent.
There we go.
Yeah. So how's your week been?
Oh, it's been a wild, wild week, Jen.
Has it?
It has.
Tell me more.
I went to the lake and I saw some cool ducks.
Ducks,
yeah.
Wow.
They were little, I think they were called buffleheads,
Oh.
which feels like an insult.
It does. You goddamn bufflehead, you.
Exactly. It feels like it should be some sort of like, yeah. But they were cute. I liked them. They had little round heads, so I guess that makes sense. Is a buffle round?
I'm wondering.
What is a buffle?
Is buffle a shape? Buffle head, but I'm also now wondering, are there ducks with non-round heads?
Okay, yeah, that's true. There are ducks with non-round heads. There are ducks with like mohawks.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of like a rounded like mohawk. I'm gonna have to double check this when we do our ad break so I can like make sure I'm giving proper information.
Yeah.
So not to mess up someone's improv scene about buffleheads.
About buffleheads, or just send this misinformation out about ducks, and they'll be like, "Where did you learn that about ducks?" And then they'll say, "On the world's nerdiest improv show," and they'll be like, "Is that the best source for duck information?" And then they'll lose our listener will lose all credibility.
I have a plan for our show. Okay, we are the world's nerdiest improv show, but I want us to be the world's worst duck information show.
The world's worst source for duck information. I would like to take that on with you.
Mallards are from Mars and buffleheads are from space.
Right.
Write home about that.
A Muscovy duck cannot fly.
Oh.
That's misinformation right there.
A Muscovy duck is also kind of just a turkey with a duck bill.
Really?
No.
Oh, wait, this is misinformation chat. See, I was almost, you were so convincing on that delivery podcast. I mean, podcast listener, you would absolutely have been convinced on Katrina's delivery right there. Just absolutely sold that misinformation about ducks.
I'm adding that to my resume. Absolutely can sell misinformation about ducks.
Excellent.
You won't know.
You will never know what's real or what's fake on this improvised show.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Anyway, that was my week. How was your week, Jen?
My week was about as exciting, and I think we're going for no, I'm not going to sell it like that. I started seeds in the greenhouse because I think we are on a trajectory for every week on this show involving something about plants or gardening. And anyways, I've started lettuce and peas and onions.
Nice.
Late. Everything is late.
Oh.
I am not on my gardening A game this year.
I mean, I'm not on my anything A game this year. So.
Yeah, neither am I. Except for this show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, you're on your A game.
Oh, well, thanks, because I don't feel like I am. Let's, what kind of soup is this show being brought to us by? Let's look at that. We got carrot soup this week.
Yum.
Carrot with croutons.
Ooh.
Croutons are in the photo, therefore it's part of the soup that we're delivering. Yes?
For carrot soup, do you add any other vegetables, or is it really just like you blend up some carrots and make it into a soup?
I would be adding other vegetables just because I'd probably be trying to get rid of some stuff in the process. I would also be adding cashews and or sunflower seeds to this blend.
Oh, yeah, to make it a little creamy.
Yeah.
A little nutty creamy.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't say that.
Little nutty creamy.
Little nutty creamy.
Are we going to get a whole different rating on this show now?
This is the soup information misinformation show.
Yeah, we're all about leading you astray with our improvising on this show.
And getting flagged by age restrictions on YouTube.
Yeah, possibly this week. Oh, the excitement that will ensue.
Anyway,
that
sounds like a great soup.
Yeah, I think it's a great soup. Thank you very much, Carrot with Crouton Soup, bringing this show to you today. That is our sponsor. And as we could roll some ads now that we've gotten the soup stuff out of the way.
I'm going to check about the bufflehead.
Okay, check about that bufflehead while I run some ads. Have you been raised to never let history repeat itself? You might be living in a world of first beats only. How do you know if you're trying to survive on first beats alone? Symptoms include your first beat was frat bros heading to Burning Man, but your second beat was something unrelated about two sisters gossiping about 90s after school specials or something. Or you thought of the perfect rooster callback, but you kept your mouth shut because you thought no one needed to revisit that great farm scene? Or you could have made a solid pigeon pecking connection during the third beat, but you didn't because it would have been too much to go back 30 minutes in the set? You know you're living an anti-second beat lifestyle that rejects historical repetition if this very advertisement gives you chills, nausea, acid reflux, a bad case of heartburn, vertigo, unrelenting case of jazz hands, and chills. If any of these symptoms resemble your history-hating reality, you are living in a world of first beats only, and you need help from us here at Do It Again, Please, an Improv Sabbatical. At Do It Again, Please, an Improv Sabbatical, you'll redo history. You'll get rips of beats. History starts repeating itself by noon. You receive the same dry toast you got for breakfast, but also for lunch, and also for dinner. Oh, that asshole who stole your parking spot when you arrived? Don't worry, you'll see them again. We assigned you parking spot 17F, and we also hired Grayson to pull into 17F seconds before you arrive. In fact, we'll assign you the task to go off-site and pick up more post-it notepads for Do It Again, Please, and Improv Sabbaticals, Central Office. 5 times per day for the length of your stay. And every time you repeat this task, Grayson will be waiting in their RAV4 and pull into 17F right as you pull up. Good work, Grayson, and good work you for reliving this annoying experience 5 times per day. Doesn't seem funny yet? Don't worry. The 11th time Grayson pulls into your spot, you'll get it. Because that's why you're here. You need to learn to, get it. You'll marinate on that great comeback while you're in aisle 5 at Office Depot. That's where the Post-its are. And eventually you'll tell off Grayson perfectly. Every time. So many beats. So much opportunity. So much Grayson. Here at Do It Again, Please, an Improv Sabbatical, we believe a joke gets funnier the more times you say it, and that dry toast gets moderately tolerable by day 8. But best of all, we'll let you mangle your second beat with a premise that barely resembles the first beat, but at least demonstrates you're moderately aware of the relevant concepts and techniques by the time you drive home from the sabbatical. Don't live in a world of first beats only. There's always more roosters to call back. And there's always more Grayson. So call us at 1-800-555-BEAT. That's 1-800-555-BEAT. Call me, please.
Late night Zoom improv class? Too late to drink coffee. Well, you have just the thing. Tea. Tea. You probably have some in your cupboard right now. Is it expired? Who cares? It's just dried leaves and stuff. Expired tea. It's fine.
Welcome back, everyone, to the show. So did you find out anything about buffleheads, Katrina?
I did. I looked it up on the Audubon app. And by the way, if you're a bird watcher or just a human and you don't have the Audubon app,
Right.
What are you even doing?
I know. What are you doing? What am I doing? Because I don't know if I have that app.
Yeah. It is a great app. You can search birds by color, size, type.
Wow.
Yeah, it's super great. So I don't know if this will show, but this is a bufflehead.
Oh.
Yeah. According, I'm sorry, podcast listeners, it's a little duck.
Small duck, round head, head on that.
Very round
duck.
head.
Yep.
Nailed it. The description on the Audubon app is a very small diving duck.
Huh.
Adult male has white scarf on round black head. Female has gray head with white ear spot. Young male is similar, but white spot is bigger. Compared to hooded merganser.
A hooded merganser.
Hooded merganser.
A hooded merganser.
I did see a common merganser the other day.
A common?
Mm-hmm.
How is a common different from a hooded?
They look different.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds like not misinformation at all.
I'm so sorry. I failed the misinformation aspect of this duck show.
And now we are a duck show. But also, if there is any information that is incorrect, we can blame Audubon for that now because we are reading off the Audubon app.
That was absolutely directly taken from the Audubon app. So take it up with them. Not me.
Exactly. Don't come complaining to us, or do come complaining, because if you do, your comments will probably help us in some way, even if they're anger filled.
Help our SEO.
Yeah, it probably will.
Get angry.
Get angry at us. We're going to piss you off with these next facts. Should we move on to our weekly slides? Speaking of that.
Let's go.
All right, let's get that soup off of there. All right. Podcast listeners, we have we have moved on now to our first Reddit-based improv discussion. Katrina, this one's yours. What have you brought with you this week?
So, something I found in my improv journey is that improv really helps me with writing, and I was kind of curious if other people, had any takes on that. Like how it might help them. So I found this article on Reddit, or post on Reddit, called "Improv Class is a Way to Improve Writing?" And there were lots of comments about how improv can help you with writing. One of them is kind of the if-then aspect of improv, and how that helps in narrative writing, just knowing where the story should go. But also other people said that it helped them write dialogue, just feeling more natural, less clunky.
Okay.
So there's some good stuff in here. I read it 2 weeks ago when I sent it to you, and then I didn't look at it again. So just lots of little tidbits of how writing or improv help people with writing. And I do feel like personally it helped me too. And it also just helps before I would try to think of the perfect thing all the time, just what's the perfect thing that could happen. But in doing improv, you learn that there really is no perfect thing. There's just multiple ways it can go and how you deal with that. And so I think that's really helped me in writing, because I can mentally think through it one way and be like, oh, I like where that's going, I'll write that. Or no, I don't like that. So I find it really helpful. So if you're a writer considering improv, do it. It'll help.
Yeah. That's one of the fun things of giving everybody the same initiation to go off of, and just seeing the radically different scenes that happen off of the exact same initiation. There are so many ways to take everything.
It's so true. It's so interesting how different a scene can be off of just one word.
Or even the same setup. You can give someone the same base reality, the same full-on setup, and the scenes will be radically different from there.
Yeah.
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 So many variables. Have you taken any of those improv to sketch type classes before?
I don't think I have. I've definitely taken improv classes and sketch classes, but not combined.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I've taken each. I have not taken the merging of those two. But I've heard good things.
Yeah, it does sound like it would naturally work and be helpful.
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing it for a long time at Second City. Next slide. Exercises for playing grounded characters, question mark? All right. So, grounded characters. So this thread is it's a newer one, so it probably will continue to get more comments attached to it. But grounded characters, there's lots of ways that you can approach this. Exercises for playing ground characters, though, the first one that pops into my mind is the park bench of truth. I think that is one that is excellent because you're just in this exercise. It's as simple as heck. You can be literally sitting on a park bench at a park, and you and your scene partner are just having a regular conversation and taking it from there. I think it is a good way if you are playing a whole bunch of wild characters and you want to peel it back a little bit. That's one good way of doing it. Of course, the other thing to remember about playing grounded characters, you're going to have big energy, weird characters that ground the world. The world can be weird, and you can be just making that world understandable for your audience. You can, of course, excuse me, you can ground things, just make them relatable is one of the main things, is can your audience relate to them? So you can do that in a whole bunch of different ways. So exercises, of course, can be all over the place for this particular exercise. Katrina, do you have any favorite exercises for playing grounded characters?
Oh gosh. As someone who struggles to play a grounded character sometimes, I think I don't know if I know any exercises. I think I've just been told to play to top of intelligence basically is one thing. Just like I think that helps me stay a little grounded, to be like, okay, we're gonna make the best decision for this character at this time.
Yeah.
Like how would someone truly in this situation react? I think that helps me try to stay grounded.
Yeah.
Just like making human, like even if it's a weird world or a weird situation, like making the most logical next step, just like based on like human behavior, I guess.
Yeah.
If you're a human.
If you're a human, depends. I mean, you could
That's
be
where-
a boiled egg in the scene.
That's where it gets complicated. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
One of the things that you can also do in a scene, if you just want to keep it play grounded characters, is start off really grounded in that base reality and try to keep it boring. Which I mean is similar to the park bench of truth, but you're not, because park bench of truth, I should explain, it's oftentimes set up is you are playing you to start off. You are speaking as yourself. You are giving your own real life experiences in the scene and starting from that place. So you can do that in other scenes as well if you just want to keep the base reality really boring. And it's like, just, you can use the directive of nothing funny or particularly interesting can happen until later in the scene. The base reality has to be boring, and you can start it from there. And that will sort of almost guide you into keeping it at least in a little bit more of a grounded space character-wise off the top, which will kind of transpire to the rest of the scene, where you will find eventually something funny, but not at the top.
Yeah.
That's another way to go about it. Easy.
That makes more sense than what I said. But I do want to ask you, have you heard of the short form game Park Bench?
Maybe. I might have done. I don't. There's so many different titles for everything. How does it go?
Well, I just remember playing it in high school, and basically the whole point of the game is to come in as a character so obnoxious and so weird that you scare the other person who is sitting on the park bench off the park bench.
Oh my God. So basically the opposite of the exercise I just said.
Yeah, because when you said park bench, I was like, that's interesting. Oh, okay, I get it. I get it.
Oh, it's completely different. Yeah.
It's a different park, a different bench.
Yes,
But
and a different exercise.
anyway, fun to play with your friends.
Yeah, I like that one. That
I
one,
don't.
although that one sounds like real life to me.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's a little too real,
Yeah,
a little too much.
yeah.
No, I think I don't even know if it's like a legit short form game. I just know they were like, okay, high school kids in theater, this is a game for you.
Yeah,
And it
or
was.
your high school friends were pranking you. For sure, this is
They
a
might have
short
been.
form game. Let's scare Katrina.
Oh, I was always the scary one, so
Oh, well,
I
then.
won if that was the case.
I love that. Did you get a trophy?
No,
That's too bad.
should have.
Yeah.
Should have.
Our word of the
Oh, no.
week. There's a lot of words on this. Listener, if you're listening, we will read out what it says now. This is our word of the week is spatterdashes, which are also known as spats. Something that was worn until the 1920s. This is actual information. Footwear accessory that functions as spatter guards covering the instep and ankle or below the knee. Some say that they are also known as a gaiter, but other sources of information say that gaiters are indeed a different thing than spats or spatterdashes. So there seems to be disagreement on the internet about how this word is actually defined. And yet I still brought it to this show. Because I just wanted to say spatterdashes.
I find that to be a reasonable reason to bring it. Also, I don't think you have to use it in the defined term, because this feels like if I drop something in the kitchen, I'm gonna say spatterdashes.
Oh, spatterdashes.
Oh, spatterdashes. Yeah, it's really more of an exclamation, I think, for me.
Yeah,
so.
I like that. I do appreciate that. And a duck's round head. But the other thing is apparently spatterdashes is used in some sort of context around painting and stucco, I believe. But I'm probably spreading misinformation now to some degree.
Maybe that's our thing.
Maybe that is our thing. Although I think if we're bringing the word of the week for people to use within, hey, wait a minute, it's improv. Use this word however the heck you want.
There really aren't rules.
Yeah.
There are, but there aren't,
There really aren't.
There aren't.
No. But if you get a note, come and complain actually on one of our feeds, because all bad news is good news. Next slide. This is yours, Katrina.
Yes. Thank you so much, Jen. I get to talk about another duck-billed animal.
Nice.
That's not a duck, a platypus. So I found this TikTok. I've been a fan of platypuses for a while, most of my life. Ever since I knew what a platypus was, I was like, that's a creature for me to be a fan of. They are weird little buddies. They have the duck bill, they have the fur, they lay the eggs, but they are mammals. They are venomous. They have a little barb on their foot. But the thing in this TikTok video that I found that got me was their genetic, or like their genome, like they are related to birds. So somehow, like when birds split off from mammals, they like kept both. Like millions of years ago, hundreds of millions of years ago.
Wow.
So
like
they
split off and decided to make their own decisions on how they're doing so.
Exactly. So they're like, I don't want to not be a bird.
That's great.
Yeah. So
I love that.
Yeah. So I thought that was really cool. And also, they have like multiple chromosomes, like instead of like the 2X, 2Y or whatever science. I know it.
You know it.
Yeah. They have like multiple pairs of genomes, which is more similar to insects and plants than other animals.
So platypi are more insect technically speaking? Is that what you're saying?
I don't want to say more insect, but like aspects of them are more related to insects and plants than other animals.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can't quote me on that. Watch the TikTok.
Watch the TikTok. The
Because,
links will be in our show notes for that.
yeah. But I just thought that was so interesting. Like they went their own way.
Mhm.
They committed to the bit hardcore.
they did.
Perhaps the most of any creature in the
Yeah.
history of creatures. They committed to the bit.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show that like in an improv scene, you can be anything.
You really can.
Yeah.
You can be part insect and nobody
Mhm.
will know.
Yeah. You just have to, you know, build out the world, like commit to the world.
Yeah.
There was another part of this TikTok that was interesting to me, and I think I'd heard it before, but basically when European people found these things in like the 1700s, I think it was, they sent specimens back to
Mhm.
be like, look at this thing, and they truly thought it was just like a bunch of animal parts sewn together. Like they didn't believe it was a real creature. So
Wow.
yeah.
For some reason, that's making me think of a whole bunch of these platypi in a trench coat or something like that stacked up. I do not know why that image came to my head, but that's what happened.
I love the visual and I
Yeah.
appreciate it, and I hope they don't poke each other with their venomous barb.
No, but it would be more like a quilt analogy would have fit way better in that. But for some reason, I saw platypi in a trench coat. I also need to apologize right now deeply to our audience and to you, Katrina, as well. I have an apology to make because, first of all, I never ran the titling for the beginning of this section, which was things on the internet before we went on to our Reddit. So people are going, why are they talking about Reddit improv articles right now?
You did announce it. You
I
did
did.
say onto our first link.
Onto our first link. But that was all I gave, which was completely insufficient.
Okay,
And then
everyone raise your hand if you noticed. No one here is raising their hand.
No one here is raising their hand. That's because we parentally don't have an audience that we can see. And then I progressed us right on to the TikTok section, which is something that we like to call scene sprinkles, information that you can sprinkle into your scene. And we generally tend to introduce this section with a why to justify why are we bringing TikTok facts onto this show. And it's so you can take these facts and use them in your scenes. So now we have perhaps caught our audience up to what we're doing right now if they are not familiar with the show.
We did promise a wild episode today.
We did.
Full of misinformation.
And we are committing to that bit and delivering hard.
Anyway, that's all I have about platypi.
That was fascinating. And we can add that on into our scenes. And we're going on to another thing that you might want to sprinkle into your scenes. And this one, if I was sprinkling this into a scene, I know I would be annoying everyone greatly. So perhaps I won't take this advice. But we're looking at the image of the green frog that has this novelty song making fun of the word hello, hello, my baby, hello, my darling. That song from 1899 was actually making fun of the word hello because at the time it was slang. It was slang that they were trying to introduce into our vernacular to have a word to greet someone when you picked up the telephone, which was a new invention at the time. And so there was the suggestion of using the word ahoy, as in ahoy hoy. See how I would be so annoying if I was to use this in a scene.
Annoying.
Annoying. Oh boy. Oh, Katrina would have my back in this scene, wouldn't you?
Would.
You
Absolutely.
would. You
100%.
would.
Aye, Captain.
Aye, yes. And I think I have a next. He wanted people to shout the word ahoy into the phone when they answered. That was apparently the original suggestion. The word hello won. But hello, again, it wasn't even part of English at the turn of the century. And people would say good morning or other sorts of greetings when they saw each other on the street and not hello. Hello was a new word. That was something I learned. But also, I just love the idea of picking up a phone and saying, ahoy!
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Like, now I need to go back to every period piece and see if they say hello.
Yeah. Prior
like,
to 1899, I believe.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We've only had hello.
Yeah.
What if it, like, that was only like 60 years before the Beatles?
Right?
Like, how would they have written that song? Hello, goodbye.
Good question. That's a Beatles
It would have been
song.
ahoy, goodbye.
I think my running bit on the show has to be, is that a Beatles thing? And pretend I know absolutely nothing about the Beatles.
Oh, they had
a song.
They had a song called "Ahoy Goodbye."
Oh no! All right, moving on. So you can submit improv things to us, facts to us, yourself. You can submit yourself to us if you'd like to come onto the show. And this is where you do it. Our website is ween.is. And that will take you to a form, more information about the show, prior episodes, all that kind of thing.
Indeed.
Yes.
I'm still stuck on this hello thing.
Right?
Like, where did they get hello? Did they have hi?
I don't know.
Did they just say howdy?
Howdy? I don't. Did howdy come after hello? Or is maybe hello coming from howdy?
Yeah, because howdy feels like a cowboy thing, which was definitely before 1899. What was my idea of cowboys before 1899 completely wrong? Did they not have howdy?
Wow. We are blowing some minds right now on this show, I think.
My whole worldview has been turned upside down.
Just from this segment alone.
Did they... Cheerio, I guess, would be a greeting.
That would be a greeting if you were in a certain region, or any region, really. Cheerio! But you can only say it like that.
But really, people didn't just go around saying ahoy to everyone.
Did they? Maybe they did. Maybe they should. Maybe we should change that.
Just like, can you imagine like the Oregon Trail? Just everyone like, ahoy, good morning.
Ahoy! And they, like,
ahoy.
That's something you should only say on a boat.
Exactly.
But now I'm just going to say ahoy to everybody now. Ahoy! Greetings. Anyway, we should move on. What do we have next? We are moving on to plugs.
Plugs?
Would you like to talk about plugs?
I could plug something.
Okay, let me get the plugs thing out.
Plugs.
I had to remember one thing for the show.
I think I lied. I don't have anything to plug.
Oh, no.
I mean, I guess, yeah, I really got nothing.
Well, we can plug yourself. We can plug Katrina.
Plug me.
All right.
I am here. I'm on the internet sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Katrina's great.
Thanks.
You're welcome. All right. I will plug World's Greatest Improv School. We are on the Twitch channel. There are online classes that you should take on the subject of grounded characters. I have a character class coming up on April 13th that helps you heighten from yourself. So you can keep it grounded and relatable, and we will heighten part of that. And this will be a way that you can practice creating characters quickly that are based off yourself. So they are relatable and you can heighten from there. And that's what we're going to be practicing in that class. So that's my plug.
And Jen's character classes are fantastic.
Oh, thank you. I paid Katrina.
Not nearly enough to say that.
Okay, well, I'll give you some more. Thanks. All right, we should move on now to the most important part of our show, as always.
Oh no.
Katrina's like, did it change? It did change. It changed. And Katrina was like, oh no, it didn't work. Here, let me show you that again.
Wow, what a difference.
What a difference. I'm sorry, listener, if you're listening to us, you'll have to go check out that part of the video, which is a very subtle,
wildly different. So different.
Such a different Will Hines.
Wow.
And I will actually give a little bit of background information for that. It was a mistake. That was not intentional at all. And then when I saw what I did, I chuckled, and so I left it in there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That's
great. Are we still doing the thing where we ask people if they know where it's from?
Yes, we are going to do that thing. Hillary got the last one, I believe, which was Will Hines at UCB in New York. Hill guessed that correctly. Well done, Hill. So if anyone knows where this is from, please comment anywhere and let us know, and you might win a shout out on the show. What a prize.
What a prize.
Yeah.
Get your name said by us, and we will clarify that your name isn't a false duck fact.
Yes. Oh, those round-headed buffleheads. You're such a round-headed bufflehead.
What was the word? Sparkle?
Spatterdashes?
Spatterdashes.
Yeah. Spats.
I like Sparkle Gator too.
Sparkle Gator. Oh, you're such a Sparkle Gator.
That's a compliment.
That is a compliment for sure. Should we move it on to our credits and roll on out?
Let's go take a nap.
Let's go take some naps. We need them, don't we? There we go. Oh, that was fun, wasn't it?
It was fun.
Yeah. We learned about ducks. We learned about spats, platypi,
spatterdashes.
We learned about greeting people.
Buffleheads.
Cheerio.
Ahoy.
Ahoy hoy.
I don't know why you say ahoy. I don't know why you say goodbye. I say ahoy.
I love it. And blackout.